people. I am Crystal Keys, and welcome to Workplace Keys to Success, a channel that brings you an unfiltered, no-nonsense approach to surviving workplace bullying. In previous episodes, we talked about knowing that workplace bullying can end with you, and we also talked about standing up for yourself. We talked about documenting all misconduct and keeping a journal at all times. We also talked about communicating all misconduct, and we can do that internal and external. We gave you those options. Well, this episode, we are going to talk about the next steps, which are keeping meticulous records of your accomplishments, using the one-on-ones and mid-year reviews, annual performance reviews to tell of your accomplishments, set the stage, model and supporting ethical conduct, and attending and participating in training. Well, before we proceed, I want to remind you to subscribe and like and share your experience below kindly. Share your successful strategies. Let's help others overcome workplace bullying. Well, prior to COVID-19, December and January were the 2 months that organizations assess the health of their organization, so their budget. And often it results in layoffs in preparation for the new year budget. So they've got to do some budget flips. But due to the pandemic, layoffs and such have been happening sporadically. It seems like nonstop. And depending on the organization's health, which right now, everyone is lacking. As employees, we need to continue to show our worth through documentation, which leads us to the next step. Keeping meticulous records of your accomplishments and projects, work you are completing or have completed. Document and report what you have accomplished each week. Document and report any issues, concerns that you may have. You never know what you may need to include. Document and report what you've learned, what you have upcoming as priorities, work sets. Document and report challenges you may have faced or barriers that you've incurred. Document and communicate assistance needed for success. What do you need to make your job successful? Okay, so then the next step is using the one-on-ones, mid-year reviews, annual performance reviews. So really anything that puts you in front of your manager, use these meetings to tell the story of your exceptional performance and how you are an asset to the organization. Now, regarding your one-on-ones, you can have a draft agenda for yourself. You write down items to discuss during the week. So by the time of your scheduled one-on-one, you have a productive agenda, some items and questions to consult with your manager. Now, the manager may be intimidated by your agenda, so keep it to yourself. But some great topics to include as you're going into your one-on-ones, your career and goals for growth, how you've helped team activities, self-improvement, personal topics, always a must, interpersonal items and concerns. Now, regarding your performance reviews and discussions, they are vital to manager-employee relationships. Engagement can significantly improve an organization and an employee's performance by bringing employee progression into perspective. What you have to offer and what you've done throughout the year. As you integrate the meticulous records to company documentations, like they have applications, workday, etc., remember to include your soft skills too. Creativity, your innovation, your adaptability, how you communicate, how you're very accountable, your attendance and punctuality, what you've done, your productivity, your quality of work. What you have achieved is important, but those soft skills, how you cooperate, have you coached someone, have you trained someone, how you've improved, how your interpersonal skills are an asset, how you do problem solving and conflict resolution. So now this leads us to the last step, this leads us to modeling and supporting ethical conduct. Employees at all levels need to model and support ethical conduct. As reinforcement, we need to attend and participate in training. Without ethical and a compliant culture, an organization is open to high risk. Believe me, I know. I've been in the risk management realm for a long time. It should align, your ethical communication should align with actually what you're doing. And leadership is essential to ethical role modeling. Now, some organizations empower unethical behavior because they do not have a moral compass or character. Look at Enron. But leaders are required to empower and encourage employees to behave legally and ethically and in a conformity with compliance to policy and regulations within the organization. Narcissism, we talked about that, is related to the exposition of ethical misconduct. Ethical leadership is negatively correlated with abusive management and leader narcissism. Civility requires ethical conduct. The absence of laws and rules surrounding the development of anti-bullying policies does not negate the ethical urgency. It is still needed. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk about step 7, attending and participating in training, ethics, anti-bullying. Now, this is self-explanatory, but most organizations have mandatory ethical training, harassment, diversity, inclusion, maybe anti-bullying, but be sure to take these courses or training before the due date. Do not be one of those employees that need reminded or is deemed for non-compliance. Well, stay tuned. In the next couple of weeks, we will conclude the remaining steps to mitigating and eliminating workplace bullying, measures to stop workplace bullying. They are proactively selecting a therapist and an attorney and implementing an ultimatum for yourself. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, our time is up. But let's stay connected by subscribing. Subscribing will allow for the provision of notification of content on a weekly basis. Thank you for tuning in and have a great work week.